We're at Dawn's garden here on a beautiful September day, and she was kind enough to have us come by and do a review of what she's done here and to talk to us about her project and her ongoing project. Let me see if she has some time. Dawn, could you join us?
Oh, you bet.
Great. Well, first of all, thanks for having us come out. This is fabulous, fabulous garden. This was where you were gardening before, right?
Right. There's been a garden here in this spot for probably 18 years.
Ah.
What it had been, though, was raised beds that were made out of wood, and after that amount of time, they were done.
Mm-hmm.
The posts were rotting, and it was time to replace them. And we started looking for options, and found the green beds, and we're really glad we made that choice to go with these.
Great. Were your other beds, were they high? Were they just shorter?
They're about a foot high.
Uh-huh.
So that's quite a bit of built-up beds still, but not nearly this much.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been a fan of raised beds for decades.
Oh, good. How long now have you had them in?
We put these in October last year, so probably 11 months.
Okay. So you got a full gardening season in?
We did. We did. Yeah, we were so excited. I had told myself we weren't going to garden this year. We were just going to get it all prepped, but I couldn't help myself. As soon as the weather started looking like gardening time, we went ahead and jumped right in.
How did it go for you? You told me recently that your soil blend is a third compost, a third manure, and third soil.
Right. So we had nice soil that we took out of the raised beds, and so we put that back in, like you said, combined with some other things, some nice aged, of course, manure from neighbors and the compost.
And how did it go for you in growing?
It went great. We will continue to improve soil as time goes by, because you always do that. But we're really pleased with it, and we have quite a gardening community here of neighbors, and we were all amazed at how fast things took off and how quickly and well they grew. We put the cold frames, like so many people do nowadays, just the plastic with the pipes, over the beds, and weeks before everybody else's. Things were just shot up, tomatoes and peppers.
Did they do the cloches also?
And we have every other year as well, but I'm not sure what all the dynamics are. We talked about a little bit about what that might be, but they were weeks ahead of what they would have normally been. So year one, we're really pleased.
Very good. Did you notice any difference in soil retention, moisture retention with GreenBed versus the old beds at all?
Well, it's a little hard to say because we redid our drip irrigation system at the same time, but we had pretty much chronic problems with it. Some areas being too wet, some too dry. We would have spillage down into the pathways in between, and this year we didn't have any of that. It seemed very even, and so between the beds and the redoing of the irrigation system, although it was a similar system, we put the same thing back in, we were really pleased with irrigation, and really using a minimal amount between using drip and I guess these beds. We really used a minimal amount of irrigation with great results.
Oh, good. Yeah, people have reported that they're seeing less soil drying out with green beds, and the reason for that is that the green bed material doesn't wick water. Now, solid wood is a great wick of water. It'll pull water out of the soil and bring it to the outside for evaporation. The neat thing about GreenBed panels is they're porous, meaning that they're drainable. They also let air into the root zone, which is terrific, but they don't pull water out. So there's a real difference between drainability and wickability. We don't wick.
I would say that what we saw bore that out. We never saw that the beds themselves looked wet. Yeah, and it was a constant temperature, or not a constant temperature, a constant moisture inside the bed. So I didn't realize that we could thank you for that as well.
And no slugs, right? Very few slugs.
No.
Did that get better from last year with wood beds? Did you see any difference?
Yeah, slugs have been one of our banes, and between that and, like we've talked about, we put the metal mesh down on the bottom to keep the animals out from coming up. Between those two, we've been pretty much pest-free from anything that crawls. We still, of course, have cabbage butterflies and things, but that's nothing you can do about that.
We're working on that. Yeah, slugs do not like the rough texture of the green bed panels, so they just are repelled by that. If they find the brackets, that's probably a great spot for them to go up, but everybody's reporting way less slugs.
Yes.
Here in the Pacific Northwest, that is a big gardening problem.
The reason that we went to the raised beds, besides it was time to redo the ones that were falling apart, is I, like many people my age, have terrible lower back problems. And as much as I love gardening, I had thought recently maybe I had to give it up. I really suffered every time I spent time out in the garden. So we thought, okay, well, maybe really the raised beds, the much higher raised beds would be better. Excuse me. And what I discovered is with any standard, we have a couple of different ones of these benches made by different companies. They all seem to be pretty much this height, and I can, if I'm just doing quick little weeding or something, I'll just sit on the edge and pull things out. But if I'm going to do prolonged work like planting of garlic that I'll do this afternoon, or weeding or putting in baby transplants, I can just sit right here or on either side and kind of rest my elbows here and go. And I can work for hours and hours out here and not have my back bother me. It was just such a gift to discover that, which is why we went for more. We were going to do just a few of your beds originally. As we started discovering that, we just went. As a matter of fact, these last two beds are a perfect example. We had planned to just plant strawberry patch right into the ground, but after we did our growing year with these raised beds, we went, why? So let's talk about why we wouldn't just do that for the strawberries too. And we decided, yes, indeed, because with strawberries, you're really bending over to pick and things.
Yeah.
So we're really pleased to get our strawberries in there as well.
Great. It is fantastic. I'd love to come back, next year for an update if you would be so kind to allow us.
Oh, we'd love to have you back. Yeah, I just can't say enough good things about these durable green beds. We have not seen one downside. I help my husband, but he's done most of the heavy lifting, the heavy construction of getting things prepped to put them on, because they're easy to put on themselves, but all of the leveling of the garden that we had to do was more his work, and he just raves about what a really good system you've come up with. You've clearly thought things through really well. They go together like a dream, and they just are really durable. They really stand up to what's asked of them, so we're pleased.